Hello, 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 hello again. It's me. I'm hoping you're getting to know me. It's Joy. It's Joy Ruffin coming to you from the Sunshine State, Florida. And it is beautiful here. A little cool for us, but beautiful. So now, my friends, it's Wednesday night. We know what Wednesday night is. It's Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies, Living Legacies. That's the tagline. And each and every Wednesday, we bring to you women, ladies who are all about giving, sharing their gifts, their skills, and their talents. So now I'm not sure if it's good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, and maybe to some of you, good night, but wherever you are, sending your way the very, very best. We think global here. We think we're building a family, a circle, a tribe of people who are all about sharing their gifts, their skills, and their talents. And tonight, oh my, we are going to meet absolutely lovely young lady. Her name is Michelle Vismaya Rubin, but she gave me permission to call her Vismaya, which is what we'll do. I'm going to bring her over in just a minute or two, but before I do, her work evolves and revolves around one of my favorite words. I hope it's yours too, gratitude. It's a big word, simple, easy, but a big word. And we're going to speak to that tonight. But before we get started, let me share a little bit with you about Vismaya. She is on a mission to help people celebrate, and I love this word, the deliciousness in life through a gratitude practice. She teaches people to savor their experiences while connecting to the lessons. Ooh, we can hear her coughing, that are supposed to learn. They are supposed to learn. She's very much an entrepreneurial spirit, an educator, a best-selling author, and a world traveler. You guys, you know that we love to travel. Her friends call her Vismaya. She gave me permission. A name she was given in India, which means surprise or wonder. Doesn't that fit what she teaches? Her life is full of surprises and purpose. And I can go on and on, my friends. But what I want to do is bring Vismaya over and have her say hello and welcome to you, and then we'll get started. Vismaya, come over and say hello to us and welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hi, everyone. How are you? I'm so happy to be here. Thank you. What a great way to start International Women's Month with being interviewed and being on the show of a fabulous woman. So thank you for having me. I'm excited.
I'm excited to have you here, my friend, because underneath any, ever, and all that we do here is the understanding, the value, and the appreciation for the word gratitude. And so when I discovered through another friend who connected me up with you that this was your teachings, I said, yes, yay. So tell us a little bit about, I gave them just a highlight about your background, but tell us how you came to this, Vismaya, and why it's so important to you today.
So the whole backstory is a really long backstory, but I'll give you a kind of a heads up. I went to a women's workshop on 11/11/11, and some young girl said, I have this little box that I keep by my bed, and I write down the things I'm grateful for. I write down my quotes. I write down my, my wishes, my thoughts, my desires. And I had just cleaned up, it was like spring or fall cleaning, and I had just found a bunch of boxes from when I had traveled, and they were tiny. And I said, oh, that's kind of a cute idea. I let it go. Few days later, one of my girlfriends calls me up and she says, I had such a bad day at work, and she was frustrated. And all of a sudden I said, well, if you had a gratitude bag. And that's really where this whole process started. Through my whole life, I always thought that I was lucky. And I really said, oh, I have, I'm super lucky. I have a lot of things that come to me. I have a lot of experience that happen. However, it really was about practicing gratitude. So once I decided that that was kind of the mission I was going on, it just resonated. It felt right. I was a high school teacher for 20 years in Miami, and I started to teach my students about gratitude. And, I was teaching a writing class at the time. So I said, okay, I have to teach writing. I have to teach about factual writing or evidence-based writing. We're going to read about the studies on gratitude. So I would read Harvard studies and, really had my kids focusing in on keeping gratitude charts every month. And they had to write down 20 unique things that they were grateful for. In the beginning of the year, they thought I had lost my mind. They thought I was crazy. They're high school students, so they know everything. They were like, man, she's nuts. And it was interesting because some of them said, we're going to lie, we're going to make it up, we're not doing it, this is stupid. And okay. I mean, I had to let go. Go ahead.
I want to piggyback on something that you said before. I love all of that. I volunteer with juvenile delinquent girls, and when you said they know everything and a lot of it's crazy and yet, but they tune in, they listen. But you said something that was very profound in the beginning, and I want to get back to that before we go any further, because the reason you came and you do this work, you said it felt good, it resonated with you. You just had an intuitive kind of knowing that this was what you wanted to do. I think however it comes to an individual, that's how it arrives, right? It's not something that's designed or planned for many of us. It's just something that happens and you say, that's it. Is that what happened more or less? You went through that quickly, but that's what you said, I think.
That is what I said. And honestly, I had no idea how
Yes.
things were going to happen. I had no idea how it was going to take off. And I just want to touch on something because so when I first started, I had my stepdad and we were cutting and sewing the material to make gratitude bags. And I had him, he was my worker bee. So one of my friends says, well, Vismaya, if this gets big, you have to have a place to sew for you. And I'm like, I'm not sending it out of the country. I want it here. So I put an ad on Craigslist, and this was really profound for me because I had the ad on Craigslist. The only person I responded to was the last person that emailed me. And we started talking, and she says, I'm a designer out of New York. And in my head, I'm like, why is a designer out of New York going to want to sew my little pouches? Okay. I said, go meet her. And this is all internal dialogue. Go meet her. You never know. You never know where the conversation will go, what will open up. Okay. I went to meet her and I said, listen, it's important for me to give back at some level. It's important for me to do something for women. Very long story short, she said to me, fantastic. The women who are going to be sewing your bags are women that I taught how to sew while they were in prison. When they got out, I hired them. So the very first gratitude bags, after my dad and I finished sewing them, were sewn by women who were in jail. And they only knew me as the bag lady. They had no idea at this point what the bags were used for. And that was the beginning.
I love that. And what a beginning. There's so much in that, the way that you shared that, because when a person is given a job of responsibility and it's something that innately resonates with them and they feel good about it, they do a heck of a job with it. And I love the tag they gave you, the bag lady. That's really, really something. And then you mentioned that you worked with the high school students. Initially, I didn't follow through as much as I thought it was elementary, but high school can even be more challenging. Tell us a little bit more about working with the high school students and how you had them come aboard with more of an appreciation for gratitude.
So, I kind of used my teacher authority role where they didn't have a choice but to do it in the beginning. And I played along with the antics. Okay, make it up, no problem. However you want to do it is fine. At the end of the day, you're going to come up with a chart of 20 things. And throughout the year, what I would do is I would share with them, things that I put on my gratitude chart or that I wrote in my journal, things that, really challenging moments. And then I would say, this was difficult. And here's that moment of gratitude in the middle of it. My dad is really sick, but you know what? I get to go to the hospital right after work because I have nothing else to do today and go be with him. Or I would always share with them how to find the silver lining. And I think that was really powerful because the more we talked and the more they saw that I was practicing and sharing things with them, they started to really they started to practice a little bit more on their own. And what I noticed was they started to leave me little notes. Thank you for making us do this. By the end of the year, they were running up to me. I remember a couple of them would run up to me and say, Miss, I can't wait to show you my gratitude chart. I'm like, what happened? And one little girl said to me, I realize how lucky I am that I get to spend as much time with my family as I do. Like, I never realized it. Another one said to me,
I love that. I love that. I love that. You know why? Let me just come in here for just a quick second, because many times when you're working with young people, it's very it can be very discouraging if you don't have your own sense of self more ingrained and strong, because they resent and deny and push aside any and everything that has to do with discipline and structure and all of that. But if they see, if they get an inkling that your heart is involved and that you genuinely care, they see it in your eyeballs. Sooner than later, they come around. And that's exactly what you're explaining to us. That's beautiful, beautiful. Yes, continue.
So, by the end of like another little girl came up to me and said, I realize that if I don't feel good or if I feel like something's missing for me, I go out and do something else. And then somebody else said to me, and I'll never forget, she said, I came into this class feeling like I didn't matter and that my voice wasn't heard. She says,
Yeah.
but I know I matter. And, I haven't taught, this is my second year not teaching. And
Oh,
yesterday I had a little itch and I went back and I saw the kids, because after next year, I won't know anyone in that school because it's a
yeah.
high school. So it's 4 years.
Right, right.
So my babies are seniors and juniors. So yesterday I got to go in and see a few of them and they're delicious. I mean, I don't care what anybody says about high school kids. I
I
love them. I love them. I adore them. And they were not the easiest children in the world, but they're
know.
kids and they're supposed to be that way and they're supposed to challenge you and they're supposed to keep you on your toes, but I miss them.
This Maya, I'm with you 100 plus percent because you're young and gifted, and so I love the work you're doing. We'll speak to that a little bit more. But our young people need us, and I was one of those that was always saying, "Oh, these crazy young people, blah 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 blah." And then I started to volunteer and work with them, and I began to learn and speak with people like you and other young people. They're beautiful. They're beautiful. They just need more guidance, more structure, more love because of technology. There's so much, we could go on and on. Tell me this though, because this I'm fascinated with. My husband's nickname is Grumpy.
All right.
When I read your title, How Going from Grumpy to Grateful is Good for You, tell us how you came to that. Grumpy to grateful. How did you come to that? I love that.
I'll tell you that. I just want to touch on one more thing you said, going back to young people, when
Yes.
you give them the opportunity to shine,
Yes.
they shine. When you give them the opportunity to step it up, they step it up. When you give them the opportunity to make a difference, and I don't care if you're talking about the wealthiest kids or the lowest socioeconomic kids, wherever they are, anywhere in between, when you give them the opportunity to shine, they blow up.
You are so on point. No one could have expressed that better because I love the word shine because one of my many favorite mentors, Maya Angelou, said everybody wants to be valued, seen, and heard. And when you allow that young person to shine and you see the gift, the talent, and the brilliance in them, and you allow them to allow it to shine, it's beautiful. It's brilliant. Yes.
Remind me at the end if we have time to share a story about caps.
I
Say
will.
caps, and I'll remember. So
I will.
Grumpy to Grateful, really, the title I came up with, number one, it's catchy, it's cute, but here's two things that I constantly hear. You don't know my life, so you don't know if I can practice gratitude. Like, my life is difficult. You don't know what's going on. Okay, got it. And then the other thing is people say, when they're constantly in that space of complaining, they don't realize that there is a very simple technique that they can implement that will shift their way of being. And, do we have a few minutes where I can share that?
Absolutely. Please do.
So the first thing I say to people, we all walk around with cell phones. I have my cell phone out so that I could share this post with people.
Mhm.
And really the most important thing I tell people is, there was a favorite quote of mine is, hold on, let me get there. Gratitude is an effortful state to create and maintain. It is not for the intellectually lethargic. So be clear right away. It's not the easiest place to be. It's not the easiest place to go. It's much easier to stay miserable and complaining and frustrated and all of that.
Yes.
So it does take work. My second favorite quote is by Tal Ben-Shahar. He said, and I'll share this with you. The reason I'm sharing it is because a lot of people say, I'm frustrated, I'm sad, I'm angry. Well, if I'm all those things, then I can't be grateful. Not true. He says there's only two groups of people that never experience negative emotions. You want to take a guess who they are?
Oh my goodness. My,
I put you on the spot, I know.
no, well, I don't have a spot, but I want to hear it. Who are they?
Okay. So the two people are psychopaths or dead. So
Huh?
here's the deal. If you are experiencing negative emotions, celebrate because you are alive and you're not a psychopath. So I wanted to kind of, it sounds funny, but there's a lot of truth to it because life is an ebb and flow, and we're going to experience those fantastic moments. And we're also going to experience those moments that make us sad or frustrated or angry. How do we deal with them? How do we get out of them?
Yes.
So that's where the cell phone comes in. Set your alarm to go off every 3 to 4 hours. It goes off, ding, 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 ding. Take a breath. So when that alarm goes off, you stop, you take a breath, and then you reflect. Has anything happened in this past 3 hours, 4 hours? And I call them my gratitude wins. Did anyone, who or what made a difference for me? Did I do something for myself or for somebody else? Did I try something new? Did I experience something new? What made me smile or laugh till my sides hurt? So that's kind of a guideline. But really, when you do that every few hours, what you'll notice is that after doing that consistently, it starts to become automatic. And that's really how you can bring yourself from grumpy to grateful. And that doesn't mean you're not going to experience those other emotions because that's part of the flow. That's part of life. But it's really the process of training your brain to look for those things. And I think that's the powerful, that's really the power, is that we can train our brain to look for the good.
Well, you are delivering so many powerful points here to think about because anytime something new arrives in the stratosphere, the universe here, everybody jumps on and wants to be a part of it. And the word gratitude, living in gratitude, being grateful, and all of that, it's been about for quite a while. And a lot of people jumped on the bandwagon and explored it in so many different ways. And yet, just like back in my day when the word love yourself, love, love, love came about, many are using it and pronouncing it and saying it's a part of their lives, and you know that it's not. So that's why when I saw what you were doing and heard about the work that you're doing and how you're incorporating it in your business and in your life, I said yes, because all of us, and your point is so well made, Vismaya, about we're not saying it's easy. It's a consistent, persistent effort on a journey that you decide to be on. And then from there, you move on and forward.
Absolutely.
And that's the beauty of it. The other thing, too, and I love the way you express that because I think a lot of people, many of us, say that we are a part of something and we're into something because we want to be in the loop and in the club, so to speak. But yet we don't really embrace it authentically the way that we should. And what you express and how you express it speaks to that. You also said this one, and here's another word because I don't know why. I think most of us are mesmerized and fascinated by the world of crime. So the word gangster, a gratitude gangster. I said, wait a minute. This
I know.
all kinds of words. A gratitude gangster. I love it. So come on now, tell us about that. Tell us a little bit about that.
So, it's funny because I didn't reject it, but I allowed other people's opinions of that word, that phrase, gratitude gangsta, for a really long time. I said, okay, I won't call myself a gratitude gangsta. I'll be the gratitude girl, and I found myself really frustrated and feeling like I sold out. So the gratitude gangsta is, I own it. I am proud of it. It is my favorite role. And it really came about from my fifth period class. We were reading two stories of gang members and that had gotten out of gangs. And we were talking about how to write a comparison contrast essay. Excuse me.
Sure.
So I was, we were talking about what did they have in common? What did they have, what was different about how they got into the gang, how they got out of the gang. So that was the purpose of reading those two short essays.
Yes.
So then the conversation afterwards, I said, I just don't get it. I said, I don't understand, because we were talking about how they had to be jumped into the gang for initiation. And I was just talking to my kids. I said, I don't get it. Like, why would you want that why would you want to do that? Like, I don't like pain. Why would you want to even participate in that?
Yes.
And I'll never forget, it was my favorite class. They said to me, Miss, we're gangsters. My eyes went, I shut my mouth and I listened, because I've learned that you have to sometimes stay quiet and listen to what these kids say, because sometimes a gem will fall out.
Yes.
Well, what do you mean, darlings? We're gangsters. Man, we're gratitude gangsters, miss. We go around and we say thank you. I love you. I like your shoes. I like your hair. You know, one kid even took it to the point where he was on Instagram one day and somebody messaged him and was really sad and depressed and reached out to her and said, "Hey, how can I help you?" Like he got it. So when they were having this conversation with me, you know, they took it a step far when they went, Miss, and we have these guns that with those pop out flags. And I'm like, no guns. But they're like, they say thank you on them. And I'm like, all right, guns aside, take what. But really what they did was they took a term that is not so pleasant, because I would never call myself a gangsta, but they made it into something beautiful.
Now that's what I was waiting for you to speak to, because the whole culture, this country and the world for that matter, but we're here. We are, all of us, more or less, fascinated, mesmerized by the world of crime and the gangsters and all the other verbiage and terminology that we can use. We don't want any parts of it, but yet we're glued to it.
Mm-hmm.
And who but our younger generation would come up with something like that? Gratitude gangster, because they see it in a different light, but yet they have attached a word to the word gangster that fits for them and for
It's
that.
it's gangsta.
Gangsta. Yes, yes. Yes, I love it. I love it. Share with us some techniques that all of us at different times, depending on our lifestyle and where we are and all of that, that we can use to become more in sync with gratitude and what it is to us. What can we do? Some techniques, some tips that we can use to get more gratitude, not to get more gratitude, but and not even to be more grateful. What can we do to elevate that mindset?
Well, I think the first thing is to tap in, and that's where we go back to setting your alarm clock to go off and really paying attention to those moments.
Yes.
And, you know, I didn't say this, but the first thing is that if you, let's say I set my alarm to go off and I realize that in that 3 hour period, nothing happened, that I'm like, oh my God, I'm so grateful. The first key is to give yourself a break. Like, don't beat yourself up. Oh my God, well, I'm a horrible person. I couldn't find something to be grateful for. But like, give yourself a break and give yourself permission to be wherever you are. So, and then, you know, keep
That is,
that process going.
that is so good because all of us, no matter where we are and what we have, that's a plus, 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 we have a tendency to beat ourselves up. And so what you're saying is just to be more grateful and compassionate with ourselves. And that's our beginning. Good.
Yeah, we wouldn't beat up our friend who was sad. Why are we going to beat up ourselves? You know, we would be kind to the people we love. Let's be kind to ourselves. Like even today, I was in a little bit of a funk, and somebody called me out on it, and he's like, "Practice what you preach." I said, "Okay." You
Yeah.
know, okay. So I think that is really one of the biggest things, is to do that 3-step process. You know, another thing is when you're in a space of frustration, or get up and move your body. Like I do that all the time. Do push-ups on your counter, dance, move around, you know, change your energy, find a way to shift your circumstances, or wherever you're, if you're sitting down, stand up, move around, breathe.
I like that. You know why? Because physical fitness, exercise, and I don't mean going to the gym every day, whatever it is for you, that ties in for my way of thinking. And share with me your mindset on this and outlook. I think energy and gratitude need to be connected because if you don't have the right level of energy and a sense of self, and it's more difficult to get into a mindset of gratitude. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I know for myself, movement is big, you know, and excuse me. So again, you know, when you're moving and you're changing the serotonin levels in the brain, and even if you're not able to move, just putting on the music and shaking your shoulders, shaking your head a little bit, doing something to get yourself out of it, especially if you're in that place of do something to change it and shift it.
Right, right, right. I think that it plays a big part in that. Speak to compassion and gratitude combined together. How do they connect for you?
So first, I think compassion, we need to be compassionate with ourselves. We need to be kind to ourselves. We need to be loving to ourselves. And as I say that to other people, trust me, I'm pointing the fingers right back at myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and really it comes down to, especially when it comes to compassion of self, for me, part of it is, and this is big with Allison, our friend that connected us, is about integrity, like being in integrity with ourselves and treating ourselves the way we would treat other people, being kind to ourselves, being compassionate, being loving with ourselves. And compassion for other people, I remember taking a course once, and the woman who was leading the course says, I treat everybody the same when they walk in. She goes, I don't care if the devil walked in or God walked in my seminar. She said, I would look at that person, or maybe not God. She goes and go, baby, what happened to you today? And I think compassion comes in where we don't know until we stop walking in another person's shoes. We don't know what they're experiencing. And every time I want to get frustrated or complain about somebody or point the finger, and again, I'm human. I am judgmental. I do all those things also, but I have to stop myself and say, put yourself in that person's shoes. We don't know what they're experiencing. We never know what that person's experiencing. And the minute I'm able to do that, I'm able to let go and just appreciate really where they're coming from. And
Yes.
and that's not easy all the time.
No, no one said it was easy. In fact, that word easy sometimes throws people off. Simple, easy should be a part of the equation, but it's not easy. It entails work, but if you make the work fun, it can be very mind opening, opening for your sense of purpose and all of that stuff. Now, time flies here. We don't know where it goes. Tell us a little bit about how you want to. I know that you have something that you want to offer those in the audience who are tuning in, and also include the people who will come for the replay, because we know that the largest number of people come for the replay. So how do you want to, first, do you want to tell us what that is that you're offering, and then tell us how you want to offer that to the people who will be joining the show?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So a couple of things. Number one, if people want to, I put it together a free gratitude calendar every month, and what that has is action steps that you can take on a regular basis. Every day is a different day, so it really taps you into creating a moment of gratitude. So you have the ability to get that on my website. It is livingingratitudetoday.com, and I see it's been going across the screen.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing that I have on there. The other thing I have on there is a 10-day gratification, which is our way of saying a gratitude challenge, but it's a whole lot more fun. And that's to give you little simple steps to take on a regular basis to get you into that space of consciously looking for things to be grateful for. And then the big freebie is I just created a gratitude journal, as well as I have these grateful shirts that I'm wearing. So whoever, and we're going to give it a week, let's say.
Yes,
Does
that's
that
good.
sound fair to you? Okay. So every person who shares this and tags 3 people in it will be put into the drawing to win either it will be their choice, either the gratitude journal or a hashtag grateful shirt.
I think that's great. I also think, tell me what you think, Vismaya. I think it would be good if we put that in print somewhere in the comments, so
We
those who,
absolutely can do that.
we can do that. You're more tech savvy than I am, but we can do that for, especially for the people who come for the replay, because we know that the majority of people come for the replay. You come when it's time for you. We have our lovely Allison here. Allison, hello.
I see
Hello, and
her.
thank you, all of you who are here, because we know that this is not the most propitious time for everybody. So when we look out and we see you there, we say, yippee, yay,
Yay.
yay. Good
We
to see you.
celebrate you. Thank you.
It does, and it's good. And you'd be amazed at the number of people who come and view the replay after the fact. Now, because redundancy is my middle name, I have 3 names. and redundancy is one of them. And the other, well, we'll see. Anyway, repeat that. Repeat what you're going to be offering those who come to the offer once again.
Okay, so there's two things that you can get right now on my website. The first is a gratitude calendar. March's calendar is up, and once you sign up for that, you'll get a calendar each month, and it has little gratitude action steps you can take on a regular basis. Each day is something different. Also, there is a 10-day gratification, which is our version of a gratitude challenge. I don't like to use the word challenge because it's kind of an oxymoron when you talk about gratitude. So it's a gratification, a gratitude vacation. It's a whole lot of fun. And it doesn't take a lot of time. It's like 5 minutes in the morning, and then there are action steps you can take throughout the day. The other thing is whoever shares this and tags 3 people, they're in the drawing to win either the hashtag grateful shirt that you see me wearing, or our brand new, hot off the press, gratitude journal. It's a 52-week gratitude journal. It is amazing.
Wow, I love it. I love it. I love it. And you know what else? Well, love is one of my favorite words. I have so many favorites. I love the way you just expressed what you think about the word challenge. Because everybody, it seems, it's follow the crowd, follow the crowd. All of us, to an extent, do it in different ways. And everybody's doing a 5-day challenge, a 7-day challenge, boom, 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 challenge, challenge, challenge. Now,
I did 10. I got slack for that one too. I got slack for 10 and slack for calling it a gratification and not a gratitude challenge. But
so
what to do?
Miss Maya, you're cracking me up here. So maybe rather than what other word should we use? Could we use rather than challenge? What other word? Gratitude.
Gratitude. Somebody said meditation, but it's not a meditation because there's action steps. So I wanted a gratitude vacation, so we called it a gratification. That's it.
Oh, that's something else that's buzzing into the stratosphere now, how we're changing these words around.
Yeah.
I think that bottom line, the work that you're doing is stupendous because we need it. All of us, no matter what level, where you are, and all the things that you have in your life, to be grateful, to be thankful, and to practice and preach that in your actions. That's what you're about. And we all need that. We all need someone like you in our circle, in our tribe, in our family, our extended family. So I'm delighted that Allison introduced us because I love the work that you're doing. And I think you're doing a great job. And I hope to be connected forever. And we will be. Is there anything that I didn't ask you, or is there anything that you want to share with us before we say so long for now? The room is yours. Say and speak to whatever you want to, or share whatever you want before we never say goodbye. We say so long for now. I'm going to give you solo so that you can speak to whatever you want to speak to, and then we'll say so long.
Perfect. So I think one of the things, it's one thing to practice gratitude for ourselves, but it's really important to share that practice with our children. Our children mimic us, they model us, they watch what we do, and if we're frustrated and angry and upset all the time, they become angry, frustrated, and upset. So the last thing I would like to share is really about the power of reframing, and today, let's say I'm stuck in traffic and I'm frustrated because I'm an hour late getting home, and I come home and I go, oh my God, the traffic in Miami is horrible. I'm moving. I'm not. Okay, we get it. Traffic is horrible. But your children are watching you. They're paying attention to you. So the idea of reframing is taking that situation that it's a constant complaint and seeing how you can find the positive in it. So maybe, oh my God, the traffic was horrible, but you know what? It gave me an opportunity to listen to some of my favorite music, or it gave me an opportunity to listen to a podcast. It gave me the opportunity to call my friends up and catch up because I haven't had time to lately. That's really what I want to leave you with. Our children are watching. Please, we all need to do our part to make sure that we are teaching them to it's okay to be frustrated and then find the juiciness in it, to find the blessings in it.
You're speaking my language, my love. You are speaking my language. You're speaking my heartbeat, because when you speak to our children and reframing and be mindful of how you project and what you say around children, that's so, so important. A beautiful ending. Yet I'm reminded of something that you asked me to do. And, I come and go out of zones here, but you said remind you about CAPS.
Okay, so yes, so there was an organization in South Florida called Caps of Love. And what they were doing is they were recycling the tops of all kinds of plastic bottles. So Coke bottles, anything that was plastic, medicine bottles, and they were taking those because the recycling bin, you can't put them in there. So they were taking those caps and sending them to different places, and they were getting money, and they were buying wheelchairs for children in the community or throughout the United States that didn't have enough money to buy wheelchairs. So I posed the question to my high school kids, and I said, listen, here's an idea. What do you think? And they said, all right, we like it. And I had probably about 100 kids, 110 kids at the time. I said, well, what's a good number? How many caps do you want to collect? So I kind of let them play with the number a little bit and see what they came up with. And I think they said, 500. So that's about 50 caps a person or whatever it was. It was like 500 total. It was 10 caps, whatever it was. And I
Uh-huh.
said, no. I said, that's not going to work. I said, that's playing too small. I said, give me another number.
Yes.
And they said, 1,000. 1,000's too small. I said, let's think big, like dream big. Give me a number. And I don't remember the exact number they came up with, but I can tell you in the end, and I share this with you because we were talking about how when you give children an opportunity to shine,
Yes, yes, yes.
they take it. We came up with probably, if I remember correctly, between 27 and 37,000 caps. I had kids who never walked the field in PE, walking the field, coming into me with these pocketfuls of dirty caps and throwing them in my room. I taught them how, we had to count them. I taught them how to sort them according to the way they needed. And they made a huge impact in their community because they were given the opportunity.
Oh, this Maya, you and I could go on and on and on. And I love the way you ended. When I asked you if there was anything to share, what you shared was way beyond brilliant. And to remind you about the caps and to share that story with us, I love the work you're doing. And I applaud you because
Thank
we
you.
need a zillion more of you and so many of the other wonderful women that we bring on the show. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. I'm going to put you on the side in the green room. Stay there until
Okay.
I get back. And then I'm going to close the show and I'll be right back to speak with you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for watching.
What can I say? She's beautiful, she's brilliant, she's talented, she's compassionate, she has all heart, and she's teaching, showing, and acting and sharing this beautiful, beautiful concept of gratitude. There's nothing better than that. I'm honored that you are here today, that you took the time to join us. And those of you who will come later for the replay, please type in hashtag replay. We attempt every week to bring you women, leading ladies like Vismaya, to share with you their stories and why they do what they do and why it resonates so with them and why they want you to join them. All of her information will be on the site. Please connect with her because we all need each other. And the work that she's doing, there are no words. It's just wonderful in so many ways. Need I tell you that when I look out and see you here, how it warms my heart and how I'm delighted to see you each and every week when you show up, knowing that it's not the best time. And when you come for the replay, some of you type in hashtag replay. It lets me know that we're on the right track because you, and gents too as well, you are the leading ladies. You are the gents of this generation. And like this Maya said, we owe it to our young people to leave them all the good stuff that we can. So enough preaching. Thank you for being here. Always good to see you. Have a great week. Take care of yourself. Do the best that you can because it's only then that you're going to be able to look after, care for, and serve others. Until we connect the next time, you be and stay well. All the best, my friend. So long for now. Cheers.